Hey there, beauty. Megan here from megansiemens.com, and I'm coming to you with a video all about how to move through when you're feeling less than motivated. That's right, when you're hitting that lack of motivation, when you're hitting that creativity block, what do you do to move forward? I thought that when I started my business that I would wake up every single morning just so excited, happy dancing around the room, full of new ideas, full of all of the content, full of all of the things. But when I hit my first morning of a lack of motivation, when I hit my first morning of waking up and going, I don't think I have anything to write about. I sat in front of my computer and I rolled my eyes, and you all, my inner voice is super dramatic. And I started thinking, I'm all out of ideas. I'm never gonna have anything new ever again. And I let myself sink into this lack of motivation for so much longer than I thought I would. Here's the thing, you all. We're all human, so we're all going to go through different seasons. We're going to go through different ebbs and flows. We're going to go through modes and weeks when we're really, really super creative, and we're going to go through modes and weeks where we'd rather tune in or come in and just be a little more introverted in our business, right? Don't get me wrong, I have these mornings where I jump up dancing around the room and I'm full of all the ideas and I can just write my heart away or create my heart away. But I still have mornings where I wake up and I go, I don't think that I have anything to write about today or anything to create today. And that's okay. The thing is, we're all multidimensional human beings. And when we hit that lack of motivation, it doesn't mean we're failing. It doesn't mean we can't continue on in our business. It just means we're human. So let's dive in today on 6 tips that you can use when you hit that lack of motivation so you can bring your energy level back up and you can come back much more gracefully into that fully motivated, fully creative state instead of stewing and staying in the I'm never going to create anything ever again. So let's dive in. So tip number 1 is to honor the phase. As I said in the beginning of this video, it is so normal to go through different seasons in life. We are all multidimensional human beings, and so it's okay if we hit that lull of motivation, something else is trying to come up. So the faster you're just okay with this block, the faster you can move past it. Tip number 2 is to look at what you're surrounded by. Who have you been spending the most time with? How have you been spending your time? Has your time been reflecting the priorities that you're moving towards in your life? Have you picked up any new habits? Have you picked up any new comparison? What is different in your life right now versus when you were filled up with motivation and super excited for everything that was happening? Take a full inventory of what's surrounding you. Take a full inventory so that you can see if something needs to be shifted. Tip number 3, loosen up. Loosen up physically and emotionally. Like I said in tip number 1, honor the phase. Into this tip number 3, in loosening up, don't be hard on yourself. I know that it is so easy to be your own worst critic, but I can promise you it's equally as easy to be your number 1 cheerleader. So loosen up. Don't be so hard on yourself and move your body. So physically loosen up. Oftentimes, especially as entrepreneurs who are working from home, we're sitting at a desk, or maybe you have a day job where you're sitting at a desk all day. You need to move some of that energy around. Your body wants to move, the energy wants to flow. So have a little bit of fun, get up, go on a walk, go to a new workout, try a group fitness class, or maybe even just get up and have a 30-second dance party like me, but just loosen up some of that energy. Live a little and then come back with fresh eyes. And tip number 4 is you might have something to release. So oftentimes when we have a motivation block or a creativity block, there is some other energy that is trying to move and it's blocking up this space for creativity to come in, right? A plane cannot land on a landing strip if the landing strip is full of airplanes. It's the same with the thoughts in your mind. A new thought does not want to come in if your brain is completely full and clogged up of other thoughts that want to come through. So if you're having a lack of motivation, it could simply mean that something needs to clear out. So tap into yourself, maybe spend some time with your journal asking what you need and what's coming up for you. Tune the question inward and really see how you're doing. See if something needs to release for something new to come in. It's amazing what happens when we can create some space in our own mind. Tip number 5 for clearing up this lack of motivation, this creativity block, is to change your environment. This is definitely one of my favorite tips and one that frequently works for me. Oftentimes I'm sitting in this beautiful office, which is everything that I pictured in an office. And oftentimes I realize that I'm only getting inspired by the surroundings here and I need to go move. And it's amazing what shifting my office space into a cafe or the library or even outside in a park can do for my motivation. If I change up what is surrounding me, I change up the state that I want to get inspired in. So try changing up your environment right now if you're having a lack of motivation, or maybe even try doing it weekly. This is actually something that I do weekly. I make sure that I switch up what area I'm working in and I notice what areas bring certain things out in me. For example, when I am at a cafe, I am in such a writing mood, I can just write for hours at a time there. Versus when I'm here in my office space, this is when I do my best work with client calls. This is where I get inspired to show up, be fully present with them, and can lead in the way that I was meant to lead in those sessions. So pay attention to what different environments bring out in you and use those in your motivation. And we're at tip number 6, our final tip today to use when you are feeling that lack of motivation, that blocking creativity, and just feeling a little bit drained from the things you know you need to do. Now, tip number 6 might sound a little counterproductive, but stay with me here because tip number 6 is to take action. Sometimes the only thing that can get us out of our lack of motivation is to do something. When we get so far stuck into that, I'm not motivated, I don't have any new ideas, there's nothing new coming up for me, I don't know what I can create, we forget to do anything, just something. We curl up into our comfort zone, into our cozy sweatpants on the couch, and forget that we have priorities that do need action to move. And sometimes the best way to move back into our inspired action is just by doing something. One of the best pieces of advice that I've ever received from someone talking about writing was, if you are having a creative block in your writing, just start writing. Start writing even if it's complete crap, because you can always erase it and start again. So if you're having that lack of motivation and you realize that you've been spiraling into it for a little bit longer than you intended or want to, then just go do something. Start writing, start talking into a video camera, see what comes out, start journaling, see if something new comes out from a to-do list or a brain dump. Start anything to get you past that lack of motivation hump, and you'd be surprised what action starts to propel you forward. Okay, you all, so these are your 6 tips on moving out of that lack of motivation, that block in your creativity. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know what your favorite tool that you use to get out of this season of lack of motivation is. Or let me know which one of these 6 you are so excited to try. All in all, you all, when you hit that lack of motivation, something is begging you to pay attention. When you can tap into yourself and bring yourself back to center, back into balance, you will get back into your motivated state in such a gentle and swift way. All right, you all, I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you really soon.